Did anybody miss me, girl? Hi, friends. How is everyone doing on this wonderful Beyonce day? Let me just tell you something. Sacred is that girl. It is. I got it, okay? I got the shampoo, the conditioner, the oil. Girl, look at my hair. Look, just, hold up. Woo! Y'all, I've been sitting in this viewfinder trying to fix these little hairs that keep going everywhere. But I'm just like, wow, Beyonce, girl, what? I love the shampoo and conditioner. I will say, disclaimer, if you have, like me, my hair gets really oily really fast. I would say if you have like fine hair, like thinner, finer hair, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because I don't necessarily have thin, fine hair. My hair is coarse, but it's on like the softer, coarser side. So sometimes too much oil can weigh my hair down and then like make it greasy faster. I can usually go a week without having to wash and blow dry my hair. But with this, I can go like 4 days. You know what I mean? I still take a shower, but I just don't wash my hair. And this can help you go this will like, you know what I'm trying to say? Usually, if you could go a longer time, this is gonna make your hair a little bit more oily. It will. However, for the shine, the texture, the softness, are we seeing this? Girl, I'll take it. So, anyway, shout out to Beyonce. But yeah, hi, hello, old friends. The people have been asking, and y'all have been asking me, where have you been? And I'm gonna tell y'all where I've been. That's what this whole video is gonna be about today. So this is probably gonna be a long video because I have a lot to get off my chest. I have a lot to say, and I feel like I owe it to you guys to chat it up, okay? So go ahead, sister, sit down, let's chat. So where have I been? So the last video I made was the Sky Jackson video, and it was almost a year ago. Like, I honestly and truly have to say that now that I'm beyond this point in my life, that I was probably at the lowest mental health point. I shared in previous videos that I told y'all about that I had anger issues. And you know, a girl really was going through it, but I didn't have the money to get a therapist. And it just wasn't, you know, I had a lot going on. And for a long time, I knew I had some problems that I needed to resolve. I had some unsettled issues, you know, growing up, all that stuff. You know how it goes. And so I finally took the steps to talk to a therapist, and you know, I've been working on that and getting myself together in a mental health capacity. And when I stopped filming videos, it was basically because my mental health was at the lowest of lows, y'all. I have never been so high, so much, so long, like in that period of time. Like, it was bad. I'm not like, I was down bad. I really was. And it was a really bad time for me mentally, physically, emotionally. Like, my relationship was affecting my relationships. It was affecting everything because I was ultimately diagnosed with anxiety and depression. As much as I didn't really subscribe to the depression thing until I like got into therapy a little bit more, I was definitely an anxious person. Anybody that is close to me, anyone who knows me knows how anxious of a person I am. And I feel like I never really resolved those issues, which, you know, going to therapy has shown me that Although I didn't subscribe to the depression part, the anger came from the anxiety, which caused me to be depressed. And so, you know, we did that whole thing. So I met with my therapist. She was the best ever. I loved her. She was Jamaican and she was from Brooklyn. And she was living in Florida, but unfortunately she moved back to New York. So she had to like drop me as a client because they can't do both or whatever. So that therapist honestly opened my eyes to a lot of, what do I want to say, like behaviors and characteristics about myself that were like, yeah, this is why. Like and for an example, it's like anger. I was telling her like, hey, like I'm always angry. Basically what I've told you guys before in previous videos about like, I don't know why I get so upset with the things that I do. I don't know why I react the way that I do. And she was basically able to guide me in understanding my feelings of like, well, it's not that you're an angry person, you're an anxious person. And being anxious causes you to react in certain ways that you wouldn't have had you not been anxious. And a lot of the reason why I got so angry was because things would be out of my control, which would make me anxious, which would make me upset. And, you know, I would just be crashing out on people. Now, I still crash out, but minimally. And so, yeah, like that point in my life was very, very chaotic. And I was just really down in the dumps. And I'm a very emotional person, so when I don't feel like doing something, it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter the reward, it doesn't matter the incentive, nothing matters. If I don't want to do it, I just won't do it. And that is not something that's something I struggle with. It's not something that I take pride in. It's not something that I'm like, that's just who I am. It's something that I genuinely struggle with. And during that time, I was struggling really bad with it. And I finally decided to talk to somebody and talk to a therapist. And over like the course of 6 months, during that time, like from the last time y'all saw me, over like 6 months, I was really in my therapy bag, going twice a week, because I really needed to get that together. And, you know, even in March, I thought I was gonna come back and, you know, I had like vlogs. I don't know if they're still even relevant to put up now, or I might just go back on that footage and see, and like, I might just post it anyway. But yeah, I was really trying to like get back on my YouTube grind and kind of, you know, talk through it. But I just didn't feel like I was all in it, and I didn't feel like I was giving it 100%. And you can 100% tell that like I'm not where I am today, which is way more content, way more like, I feel like my light is back before, like my glow is back. Before, I was definitely a dark cloud to myself and others. And that's pretty much why the initial reason why I really took a break from making videos, because my personal well-being was not there. I was just the person. Like, I would get up, I felt like one of those memes where I would just like get up, go to work, go home, go to sleep, get up, go to work, and that's all I would do. Like the Squidward meme, like, or is it SpongeBob? I don't remember. But I would just do that all day, every day. That's all I was doing, and it was really bad. It was really bad, and I had to get myself out of that funk. I did, you know, slowly but surely get myself out of there, and now I'm finally in a better mental state. Like, I can actually say that I'm in a way better mental state than what I was previously. One thing that really helped me during that time was really just isolating myself, which is kind of bad because you really shouldn't do that when you're like in that. But I really did have to just, you know, lock in. I had to like isolate myself, keep myself, you know, a little bit more hyper focused on things that I really wanted to change and that I wanted to achieve, like personally, like with my attitude, with my personality. And we had to, you know, rework a lot of stuff like that. And on top of that, like with mental health struggles that I feel like a lot of people deal with, the hardest part for me is that the world still keeps revolving, bitch. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your mental health is in the garbage. It doesn't matter if you're having the worst time of your life. It doesn't matter if it's your 13th reason. You still gotta wake up and you still gotta go about life as if nothing's wrong. And that was a really big problem that I was having with myself, because obviously if I'm a very emotional person and I don't feel like doing stuff and I'm just not mentally there, it's quite difficult to try to like function in society, let alone do a job. And that was really hard for me. Like the 6 months, probably like from the last video into like 6 months of that, was a lot of me just trying to navigate adulthood, trying to navigate my feelings, my emotions, my temperament. And it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of talking through it, a lot of feeling a lot of things, girl. There was a period of time I was literally, I stepped foot in the shower, I was crying. I was just crying every single day, and it was just very, very, very difficult for me. And obviously when you're like, if you're not even able to show up for yourself, like how can you show up for your partner? So obviously like that brings so much more issues into your relationship. And like, obviously somebody's trying to be there for you, because you know, people are people. You want to be there for your partner, obviously, but it's hard when, like, you know, they're probably going through stuff. Like my husband was going through his own stuff, and I'm just over here like, you feel like a burden, you feel like you're crazy, and you know, it was just a lot. So needless to say, one of the main reasons why I had to step away from filming and stuff was just because my mental health was at abysmal. And it had nothing to do with the internet. It was all personal. It was just all like myself. It was just, you know, I had to get myself together. It got to a point, because I know a lot of people with bipolar disorder where it's just like something happened where it just like flips a script or flips a switch in your head, and you're just like, I have to change, like I have to be better. And that kind of happened to me. Like I was so down and out that I was just like, girl, you gotta get it together. Like we gotta do something. And so I'm finally at a point where I can confidently say that I've dug myself out of that hole. I can cope and manage a lot better than what I was. And I'm happy to say that. I'm proud to say that. And, you know, we are back in action, you know? So that was the initial cause of my departure here. And then life just lifes, you know? In a great way, because my job, right? If you would have told me when I was working in that hellhole of a salon for those 2 days that I was there, if you would have told me that I would have found the job that I have now and was able to make a career out of it, I would have been like, what? Like, no way. And I'm very happy to announce, inform, you know, let you guys know that I have been thriving at work. Like my
career's taking off. These hoes jogging in place.
Yes, girl. My everything is just like, everything has been booming at work. And you know, obviously I can't tell y'all what I do. I wish I could tell y'all, because it actually, my job low-key is a key. Like people that I work with, like, oh my goodness, I wish I could tell y'all, like, really, these people need to get with the social media times. Because I feel like if you could honestly make story times about your coworkers and what goes on in your office, like, they can make a lot of revenue. But neither here nor there. It is a key, and I wish I could tell you guys everything about it, but I have been able to just, you know, climb in these ranks. Like, not even climbing these ranks, bitch. I made my own lane, and there was a ceiling cap, girl. Even the owner told me that this is the ceiling cap, and I just went around it and did. So I have been just thriving so much at work. So with that comes a lot of responsibility, a lot of time, a lot of effort and energy put towards that in a healthy way too. Like I have a great work-life balance, but you know, when you are focused on a goal and you like can see yourself, before a job was a job, bitch. Like I was never, I struggle a lot because I am just not a self-motivated person. Once again, I'm very emotional. If I feel like doing something, I will. If I don't feel like doing it, I won't. And a lot of times, like, people would ask me, even in therapy, she would ask me, like, you know, what gives you purpose? What gets you out of bed? And I honestly couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I still don't feel like I can in certain ways, but with my job, just being able to like create a role that I've created for myself and just like excel and like be able to put so much energy in that has kind of given me a sense of purpose, like a little bit. I'm not one of them weirdos. Like I don't die and bleed for the company, but it is very much like I do like what I do. I enjoy it. I have fun. I love the company that I work for. I love the people that I work with. And it is a vibe. They get on my nerves. It's still a job at the end of the day. But I would take the absolute worst day at this job and the best day at any other job. And I've just been really putting in a lot of effort into it. So that has also taken up a grand like amount of my time. And it's just, you know, blessings on blessings on blessings, but it has taken up a lot of my time to make me, you know, very preoccupied with that. So finally, you know, working through my mental health and getting that going while also like navigating this job that I didn't necessarily think like would take me this far, and being that it has, and like all the opportunities that I've gotten from it and the ability to grow within it has taken up a lot of my time. I can't lie, you know, I'm a career woman now. So, which always brings me to the regular girlies, like from one to another. I'm telling y'all, like, oh my God. I know this work market and like the job market right now sucks. Like this job pool, like there's pee in it, there's shit in it, you know, everybody's doing nasty stuff in this pool. But I'm not kidding you, like I think I should become a motivational speaker, in the sense of like, I wish I could tell everybody the importance of, bitch, if the door is not open, open it for yourself. Kick it down. Closed mouths do not get fed. I live by that. You want an opportunity, make it for yourself. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who you have to talk to, what you have to do. Like, I'm telling y'all, if I could give anybody any advice, it's just like literally promote yourself, advocate for yourself, make shit up for yourself. Because quite literally, that's all I've been doing this entire time in my job. And I have given myself so many streams of income that I didn't even know I could make. And I have really been giving myself, like, making opportunities for myself that otherwise wouldn't have been presented. And not because, like, you know, not because nobody's giving me opportunities, but in the sense of like for example, right? Let me put y'all on game. So there was a cleaning company that used to come to my job, and like our office is like pretty like small, whatever. It's a decent size, but it's pretty small. And I was seeing how much these people were charging, and I was like, this is not giving how much y'all are charging. Like, y'all's cleaning is not giving, because I would find myself having to clean, like I was finding myself cleaning up more of that. So what did I do? I marched myself into the CEO's office. Well, obviously it's a little bit more intimate, so I could do that, but you know, you just go to the person that you need to talk to, the point of contact. So I just went in there and I was like, hey, are you married to the cleaning company that cleans the office? He was like, no, why? And I'm like, well, I don't really like the way that they're cleaning, and I feel like I could just do a better job myself. Like, how about we like ditch them, hire me? Boom, bitch. And look at that, I got another source of income, and I don't even have to do that much. Like, it's not that serious, you know what I mean? Like, and so it just was what it was. And that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody was gonna offer me that opportunity. The owner or whatever, like, he wasn't gonna come up to me and be like, Samantha, do you feel like cleaning the office? Like, what do you think about if you decided to clean the office? He was never gonna do that. But I saw something. I was like, actually, I could do it better. And I did. And obviously that comes with confidence, that comes with self-assurance and all that stuff. So girl, do the work, talk to who you need to talk to, get to where you need to get to, give yourself that confidence to open your mouth and make opportunities for yourself, because I'm honestly just so grateful at where I am right now. And that's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like, I was so depressed. I was so depressed before because I was talking to my husband about this. It's actually living in Miami and working in Miami Beach. It's kind of weird because you normalize a concept of money. You're surrounded by like astronomical amounts of wealth in this city, whether it's real or fake, whatever. Lamborghini Uruses here are just another like mom car. No one bats an eye. Tesla trucks, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, like you see it all the time that you think that it's normalized. Like I'm not taking pictures of the Urus that's next to me because I've already seen every variation that you can do with a Lamborghini Urus just by going to Starbucks or just by going to the mall, just by going, like, you know, just going around town, you'll see all these cars. So you kind of get like desensitized to it. So you kind of have it in your head that like it's normal, but it's so far, like the gap between like a regular person and the people that have like all this money is so big that you kind of have like this warped sense of like, it's like it's in your face every single day, so it's normalized, but it's still so far out the realm of your life that you kind of just like feel weird. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. And especially like in the like field that I'm in, you're just around a bunch of uberly rich people, and it's kind of hard when you see invoices of your salary, people are paying that like it's no big deal. Like, this is crazy. Like, I see a lot of checks being, you know, written or whatever, and these are like $100,000 checks, $200,000 checks that people are just spending on a random Tuesday. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what in the world? That's kind of where, like, when I was down and out, I was very depressed, and I just felt like, damn, like I'm struggling. Like, I'm technically poor compared to these people. Obviously, like, if you're spending $200,000 on a random Tuesday, like, literally my salary is your like gas money. I don't know, like, these people spend all this money for nothing, and it really does kind of get to you in a certain way. But I feel like being down on yourself and I had to really work through it. I don't know how I'm trying to say this. I had to really work through that. I had to work through it and really understand and grasp the concept of like, this is my life, this is my journey, I need to focus on what's important to me. I need to focus on what my idea of wealth and success is. And like, obviously, who the hell doesn't want like $1 million? But that's just not the goal. It's not the focus. And I've just really kind of changed my mindset and the way I kind of look at things now. I kind of feel more hippy dippy. Like, I kind of subscribe to that. I've let go of I did a lot of deconstructing in that too, which, oh, girl, that's a whole other video. But I had to let go of a pre-instilled mindset that was, you know, put upon me by my parents, by my upbringing, by the people that I was around. I had to really deconstruct and think about, like, what do I think, what do I feel, and what do I believe? And that has also, like, being able to kind of talk through that in therapy and kind of navigate that, be like, okay, this is my journey for me. This is the life that I was given. This is this is what's in front of me. What am I gonna do with it? And it has really shown me that, like, no, what is for me is for me. What's supposed to happen to me is gonna happen to me. What's not is not. Their journey is not my journey. My journey is not theirs. Like, I just have to constantly tell myself that, and I honestly believe that. And I've really been able to, like, chill. Like, I feel more at peace. I feel more confident. Like, no, like, you guys have been here on this journey. Y'all know I'm probably one of the unluckiest people because random shit just happens to me. I just be minding my business and random shit just happens to me. And they do. And I found myself being really sad all the time because I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I try, I work hard, I plan, I do what I'm supposed to do, I'm responsible. Why isn't anything panning out for me? And it's just because I was looking at it from the wrong perspective. And now that I feel like I can look at things from an objective perspective in a way that, like, this was just supposed to happen. This is what was supposed to happen. And then when I started thinking about life in that way, in that capacity, it helped. And it really, like, helped shape my mindset and my mentality. And I like it. Like, I've been, you know, your girl has still been trying to work through some things, but I definitely feel like I'm at a greater point of, like, positivity than I'm more on, like, the positive side. I'm on it, obviously, like, I'm not 100% because I'm not Jesus, but I sway more to the positive side than I do to the negative side now. And I'm happy to inform that it does feel better. I feel way better, and I live. And that's basically, you know, what I've been on, like, and I think that that's what's been helping me a lot, like, career-wise too, because I've been able to navigate this adulthood and lifing from a different perspective than what I did before. And I can say that, like, it's been helping. And so, yeah, like, my career has been going nuts. The sky was the limit until I broke through that bitch. And yeah, so on top of mental health, then my career, all my siblings are just popping out babies. And when I say siblings, I'm including my husband's siblings as well. So I have a little football team of nieces and nephews that I also attend to and care for, and not care for, like, you know, I'm an active aunt, okay? That is a full-time job. And so, you know, everybody's just popping out these babies. And so I've been very preoccupied with that, spending time with them. And I posted this clip of Cardi B on my Instagram.
Perfect day at home. It will be a day when all my family come over, which is like almost every weekend. I don't have nothing to do. We can listen to loud music. We could have fun. We could dance. All my little nieces and cousins come around. That's why I always needed a big house, because I always knew that, like, I just love being with my family so much that I always wanted, like to be that house that everybody goes to, like grandma house. That's a perfect day to me. Just a day that I could just have fun with my family. I don't really need to go out or anything.
But it's definitely it's very much embodies how I am, and just that kind of goes back to what I'm saying, like, what's my wealth and what's my journey and what is my idea of being rich. And honestly and truly, it is just being in a big ass house with nothing to do but having my family come over and all my nieces and nephews, and just cooking, barbecuing, you know, listening to music, having everybody around, doing game nights. Like, that's what I love to do. That's really where I just like cooking and hanging out with my family, and that's been giving me a lot of joy as well. I've kind of been trying to disconnect from the tragedies of this world and the disgrace of this nation. I've been trying to really kind of disconnect from that and really appreciate the things that actually matter and that are actually important. And it has been really like nice. I genuinely just like spending time with my family. So like on the weekends, they don't live here in Miami, so like we, you know, travel a few hours to go see everybody, or sometimes I go back to Tennessee to see my sister. So it is like very nice. My middle sister, she moved to New York City, so like we've been going back and forth from New York to Tennessee, you know. We've been all over the place. So that's another reason why, like, you know, I'm a career woman now from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, I'm outside. Well, no, I'm not outside. I'm inside spending time with my family. So, you know, just for time purposes, I haven't been able to get in my YouTube bag for that. I feel like this is a long ass video of me explaining myself. But I'm going to explain it to y'all because I did miss creating content, and I have so much things that I want to say, bitch. I was gonna make that Mariah the Scientist video. Thank God I didn't, because there was so much research that I did for it, and all this panned out. Thank God I didn't make that video, because it will be coming, because boy do I have opinions on Young Thug. But that's not what this video is about. So yeah, I've just been focusing on a lot of family time, focusing on a lot of, you know, personal development and personal growth and all that stuff. And, you know, the state of the world isn't really helping. I feel like I don't even have to say that much for that. Yeah, I don't even know, like, I don't have any words to say, because I've honestly lost all hope in humanity. I've lost all of it. Honestly and truly, I just cannot. And I've disconnected from the internet for that reason, because I'm done. I'm done, girl. Done. Let the white rich people have it. Like, at this point, it's comical. It's just every day is something different. Every day is something. And I just feel like I have everything fatigue. I'm done with people. I'm done with ignorance. I'm done with the government. I'm done with this country. I'm done. I feel like everybody nowadays is just so willfully ignorant. It's like they go out of their way to be dumb and say things that are dumb. And at the end of the day, I just don't. I just don't even. Oh, girl. I've just been so exhausted. I have everybody fatigued. And that's one of the main reasons why, like, I just didn't want to get on the internet, because I'm just so tired of the nonsense and what comes with it as well. Like, I mean, I've been online. I've seen what's been happening. I've seen what's been going on in all aspects of, like, politics, pop culture, shit like that. And it's still, like, you know when you're just so disappointed? Like, you're just so disappointed, you don't even want to say nothing. It's just like, ugh, like, I don't even want to have this conversation. I don't even want to say anything. Y'all already know where I stand on all of this. Black Lives Matter. I'm for the immigrants. I stand with Mexico. I stand with Palestine. Y'all already know where my heart and head has always been. So at this point, all I'm going to say is, you know, pick a side, stay on it. Y'all know the side that I'm at, and this is where I reside. I'm not here to go back and forth. I really don't give a shit. Like, I am so done with it. I know what I believe. I know what I do. I know what, like, I'm not. It is just, I am so over it. Can you tell? I felt like this had to be spoken about, because it is one of the reasons why I got off the internet, because I'm just so over it. I have so many opinions. I have so many things I could say, but I'm not going to, because why? why would I even want to talk about this? Why would I even want to go back and forth with these people? Either you get it, or you don't, and it's not up to me to hash that out. So that's one of the main reasons why. And to save the worst part for last, my childhood dog, Mofongo, passed away. Woo! Woo! This is not what I thought. Okay. Yes. My childhood dog that I got at 16, I got him. I grabbed him. He passed away it was very sudden and very traumatic. He got diagnosed with IMHA, and if you don't know, that is when the red blood cells attack the white blood cells, or like vice versa. So he collapsed, and my parents took him to the vet, and they diagnosed him with that, and 2 days later he passed away. So hold up. Ooh. So this is the first loss I've ever had with a pet. I never disclosed this. I never talked about this. But I did have to rehome my last dog that I showed you guys on here, and I never wanted to talk about it. I never wanted to address it. Because people be just going nuts for you, and like, people don't know the circumstances and stuff like that, and people just don't understand, which is one of the reasons why I don't like sharing stuff like that on the internet. But but my parents always had my childhood dog. That was like our family dog. So this is the first time I've ever dealt with the loss of a pet, and oh my God, it is very, very difficult. So as you can imagine, I was low-key ready to come back, but then that happened, and so that just threw me for a whole loop, and I just couldn't, bitch. Like, I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys can understand. That was enough for me to take me out. And yeah, it's been very difficult. And yes, and it's crazy because this is not funny. I was gonna come back with a mini story time on my Instagram, because this is gonna be a little story time I'm gonna tell y'all. So this is why I kind of lost all hope for humanity. People do not have empathy. People do not have tact. They don't have shit. Honestly, we live among psychotic people. This is why Americans go to other countries, and when they get pickpocketed, they're ready to just throw down, because we are all on edge constantly. We are all going through things. And so, like, on top of the state of our nation, you know, these are hard times for a lot of people. These are trying times for a lot of people. And obviously, losing an animal during this time is not the best feeling, and it doesn't necessarily curate the best internal feelings. So let me tell y'all what happened, because this was so, I was ready to come out of retirement just to tell you guys this video, or just to tell you guys this story, because people have actually lost their minds. I spent this entire video telling you guys kumbaya, positivity. I got my glow back. I'm just shining. I'm thriving. I'm here. You know, I just had to take a moment. I'm coming back. I'm better than ever. Right? I'm so positive. Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened. I was in the thick of it. My dog, let me tell y'all, he collapsed on Wednesday. My parents took him to the vet. They did a blood transfusion. The blood transfusion didn't work. On Sunday, I went to the vet to say goodbye. Y'all, fuck them. Like, that was a horrible experience. They didn't even put me in a room with him. I was on the floor crying my eyes out. Like, they had me in the back with the cage. They made me wait like 45 minutes to an hour to even see him. I'm thinking that it's because they're getting like some sort of room prepared or whatever. No, they had me where like the little cages are. Like, they didn't even open up the thing. I was just like, are you guys gonna open it? Or like, it was a whole thing. Like, girl, I was boo-hoo, snot, crying. It was just the worst experience ever. Whatever. So that happened on Sunday night. I get a call from my dad at 6:30 a.m. on that Monday telling me that he had passed. I was going through it, bitch. I took off from work. I was just not, oh my God, it was the worst. So I told my husband, I was like, telling him like, hey, thank you so much for being there for me, because, you know, he was with me every step of the way, you know, crying, and he was with me through all that. So I was just like, hey, like, I really appreciate you, you know, being around. You pick a place, I want to take you out, like, because it was just so much going on, y'all. Like, I'm leaving a lot of stuff out because it's very personal, but like, there was a lot of stuff going on, and so he was just being really, you know, attentive to me, and I just really appreciated it. So I was just like, hey, you pick a spot and let's go. So he picks this taco spot. We usually go there, like, we usually take this taco spot to go. I've never been inside this restaurant before, ever. It's usually just to go or Uber Eats, okay? So, mind you, I literally think my apartment is the size of that restaurant, like the living room, kitchen area, right? This taco spot is so little. And it's kind of all over the place. So let me set the scene for you. It's this tiny ass taco space. You walk in and it says, please wait to be seated. There's 3 booths along the wall, and then there's 3 high top, little, like the metal high top ones, you know, the cheap ones, right there, right? Then forward is where like you order whatever, and then they have a salsa bar. So when we walk in, I walked in by myself, and she was like, oh, where do you want to sit? But she gave me menus. And so she sat me at the booth. She gave me the menu, but you're supposed to, after she gave me the menu, she was like, you got to get up and go like order when you're ready at the counter. So obviously, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of all over the place. So whatever. I was ready to order, so I go up to the counter and I put in my order, whatever, give it to her. She gives me a number, and you know, those little stick number things that you go on the table. Cool. I go to the table, my husband gets there, we're chilling, cool. Then I see, like, when we get our tacos, they didn't bring out the salsa. So I was like, okay, you have to go to the salsa bar. The salsa bar is little teeny tiny. It was so bootleg. Like, this was so stupid. Anyway, it's like a little mini salsa bar. But mind you, it's not giving salsa bar, first of all. But also, like, most of the salsa is gone. So I'm like, it's these little to-go containers, and then you go to the salsa bar, whatever. So I'm like scraping the salsa out of it, like putting it in there, whatever. I only got like the minimal amount of salsa because there wasn't anything in there. So then I come back, and then I'm like, oh, we need to grab our drinks too. Like, you had to grab your own drinks. They didn't bring you the drinks. Like, it was very chaotic, you know, very much that. While I was at the salsa bar, there was 3 people in line taking their orders. But we're literally right on top of each other. And this girl, okay, this bitch, because that's what she is. So she brings this ginormous big dog to a restaurant, okay, which is in and of itself is already like so annoying. So why you have your dog in a restaurant is crazy. Why you have this huge dog in a tiny restaurant is even crazier. But whatever, mind you, this dog is going on people. Like, it's not a well-behaved dog. It's not like, oh, your dog is sitting and chilling. No, her dog is coming up. It's huge. And like, I don't have anything against dogs, but like at a restaurant, mind you, we're at this salsa bar and her dog is like putting his paws like on the thing, like whatever. I just noticed her out of the corner of my eye because of the dog. Didn't think anything of it anyway. I grabbed my salsa and I go back to my seat. Then my husband was like, oh, do you know if she's gonna bring out the drinks? And I was like, oh, I think we have to get them out of the refrigerator. Mind you, there was only 3 salsas. There was the red, the green, and then there was like a habanero one. The red and the green are the ones that I had to scrape out, but the habanero one was completely out when like I went to the bar. So remember how I said there's 3 booths and there's 3 high tops. Nobody was sitting at the high top tables. No one. There wasn't a purse. There wasn't a person. There wasn't a cup. There wasn't nothing. There was nothing on this high top, on these high tops. However, there was like multiple stacks of salsa, of the mango salsa. So I thought, because this restaurant is low-key all over the place. I forgot to mention, this restaurant had supplies everywhere. So like, even like next to the refrigerator, there was cases of sodas on the floor. There was water where you would check out. And then there was like other like supplies, like to-go cups and stuff that were not directly on the table, but they were like around. I thought, oh, these were already like packaged ones. Like they probably like either somebody used it, you know, like when you use when you take napkins and you don't use them and you like leave them on the table for the next person, or like sweet and sour sauce or something like that. That was my mindset. Like I just saw these, like, it was like 9 salsas, by the way. I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably like left there from another table, or because they had other stuff, like they had drinks or whatever, like throughout. I'm telling you, this restaurant was kind of like all over the place. So I saw this girl, right? I saw another girl sitting on her phone and I was gonna ask her if those were her salsas. She got up, as soon as I was about to ask her, she got up and left the restaurant. There was no one around these freaking salsas, mind you. Cool. So I just grabbed 2 of those salsas. I just saw them on the table, unattended, whatever. I took 2 of the salsas. Go back to the table. Me and my husband talking, we're chatting. I'm literally in the middle of telling him how much like I'm like so sad, and we're talking about, you know, everything that happened with my dog, and we're just, you know, we're just talking about that, whatever. Do you know, my husband was done eating, right? This is how long this has been, right? My husband was done eating. I was on my last taco. And do you know, this bitch with this big ass dog comes up to our table and goes, excuse me. And obviously I'm not a rude person off rip. I'm not gonna be rude to anybody off rip. So I was like, yeah. She goes, you do know that this is a self-service restaurant, right? And I was confused because I was like, huh? Like, what does that even mean? So I was like, yeah. And so she goes, so why would you feel the need to take salsa that you didn't serve yourself? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, those were my salsas. You didn't serve yourself, so why would you think that it's okay to snatch other people's salsa? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you guys something. I don't look for problems. I do not. I don't look for problems. I don't want problems. But first of all, I'm probably high most of the time, so I'm not even here most of the time. So I'm just like, what the fuck? This bitch has me fucked up. She thinks you're gonna come to me while I'm eating, well, and address me about some salsa? So first of all, had she just been like, I mean, I'm wrong. I didn't pack the salsa. She's not lying. I didn't pack the salsa. I made a wrong assumption. I didn't think anything of it. But the thing is, had you went about it a different way, I would have apologized. I would have just been like, oh, I'm so sorry, like my bad, like whatever. I don't have no problems doing that. But what you're not about to do is you're not gonna come at me thinking that like, so I don't know. That shit pissed me off. And I don't owe you an explanation. So you know what? I took your salsa. And what are you gonna do about it? Right? So she said that and I was like, okay, and what about it? She's like, that's rude. That's rude. And I was like, you want your salsa back? And she was like, no, you already took it. You already used it. And I was like, so what's your point? Like, so why are you coming up to me? What do you want? And then my husband was like, yeah, because what was the point of you coming over here? And she was like, oh, because it's rude. It's rude. And I'm like, so what? Do something about it. Like, literally, I don't understand where you thought, like, and I think, like, whatever. I'm going to tell y'all in a second. But I'm just like, so I told her, she was like, oh, that's rude. That's rude. And I'm like, okay, and? Like, what about it? Yeah, I took your salsa. You don't want it back? Like, and so then I was like, when I told her, do you want it back? And she was like, no, you already used it. And I was like, so then what was the point of coming over here? And she was like, oh, because it's rude. I was like, well, it seems like you just want a problem. And since you're not going to do anything about it, then just shut up. Because at this point, like, what was the point of you coming over here? You wanted to wait until I was done having my conversation or done eating my tacos. You waited this entire time when really, because I already know how it goes. She was with two of her friends. She wanted to seem like she was the friend that was about it. Because I'm sorry, if you really felt some type of way when you saw me take the salsa, why didn't you say something? Pussy. Like, because you're scary. You're not going to do shit about it. And you want to come in. And she was like, it's rude. It's rude. And I'm just over here like, but you don't think it's rude to bring that big ass dog in a taco spot. But you want to come and address me. Mind you, I'm over here like, you know, boo-hooing about my dead dog. And you're over here trying to confront me about some salsa. When at the end of the day, if you would have just been like, hey, that was my salsa. Like, hey, like I would have been like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, my bad. Like, if you would have just told me when I was in the act of taking your salsa, I would have been like, oh, my bad. Even if you would have came after the fact and would have been like, hey, hey, by the way, like, that was my salsa. Like, just for next time, like, this is a self-serve restaurant, whatever. You could have went about it so differently. But because you wanted to come at me as if you were that girl and you were going to try to check me, bitch, I'm never the one. Because that's another thing, too. I don't like to get ratchet in front of my man. I don't like to do that because he hasn't really seen that of me. And I like that. I like that you think that I'm just cooperative and I am just so kind and sweet. I don't want you to see me get ratchet and stuff, like, no. But that girl, like, girl, and I just kept antagonizing her because I wanted a problem. Like, it was something, like, I was over it. Life was kicking my ass. My dog just freaking died, bitch. I want a problem with you. Like, I am, now that you brought it to me, I want it. So I just kept antagonizing her and be like, so what are you gonna do about it? What do you want to do? What do you want? I told you to shut up. I told you I didn't care. I told you straight to your face, like, yes, I took your salsa and I don't care. What would you like to do about it? And she did nothing. So once again, why did you come up to me? You just wanted to get it off your chest that I took your salsa? So what, bitch? Like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was so pissed when that happened because, yeah, like, even my husband was telling her, like, girl, what is your deal? And like I said, because I know how the internet goes, you should have never taken the salsa if you didn't pack. Like, please spare me, because I'm not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say that I, like, sure, I should have asked or like I should have, you know, whatever. But look, I was just using the context clues that nobody was sitting at the table. I thought wrong. My bad. But to come up to me with your big ass dog being a bitch while I'm over here like I didn't do shit. Well, I did do something to you, but like, you don't go about the situation like that. And then if you are, like, get active, girl. What's up? Like, I hate people. I hate people. That is why I just stick to myself. So yeah, y'all, can you imagine? I'm over here like, I was literally in the middle, like, about to cry. Like, talking about my dog, and then all of a sudden I hear this roaring, degrading. This bitch want to get active, not even get active over some salsa. Like, bro, that's Miami for you though. That's all people do. People don't want problems for real. They just want to go back and forth with you. They just want to get shit off their chest, but they never want to, like,
when I leave, you want to keep doing this. But then when I come around, you don't want to post up. So,
because I'm just like, if you had such confidence to come to my table after like literally 45 minutes, like the thing was like, y'all, it's so crazy to me because it was literally like significantly later from when I took the salsa. Like, and my thing was like, I wouldn't have even imagined that it was her salsa, because at no point in time, y'all, dude, at no point in time when I was at the salsa bar, she was ordering her food. From going to the salsa to coming back to grab the salsa off that high top, like, I'm not kidding you, it was like I didn't even see that it was her or whatever. That's how I know it wasn't her salsa. It was probably one of her scary ass friends that didn't feel the need to say anything. And then she's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna stick up for my friends. I bet you will. You didn't do shit about it. So please, your friend didn't get the salsa, you didn't get the salsa. And to be honest, y'all, to be really honest, this is what makes it even funnier. We didn't even end up using that salsa. So I hate people. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come here and tell you guys where I've been, what I've been up to, what I've been doing, why I have been MIA. And I can't guarantee, like, I do want to come back. I want to make more videos. I feel like I'm in a better headspace. I feel like I am at a point where I am ready to step back into my YouTube era. But, you know, like I said, my career is taking off. So I don't really know how often I can do this, but I will give you guys reassurance and letting you know that I am taking, like, I do want to come back, and I am taking this time to, like, you know, I am together now. I am put together. My mental health is better. And yeah, so hopefully you guys catch the vibe, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are still here, that you didn't miss me too much. Thank you guys for everything, and everybody that has been telling me, like, hey, when are you coming back? Everybody that has been messaging me on Instagram asking me when I'm coming back, and I'm telling you I'm coming soon, and soon never came, but here it is. So anyway, thank you guys for rocking with me, for riding with me. You are the best, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.